Friday, October 18th. It's about 1:45 in the afternoon. Met AJ in a little town there outside of Saldero, Colorado. I had about a 24-hour drive, and he drove about 13. But we met up there this morning and drove down here Goose Creek Trailhead in Deer Unit 501, and just got camp set up right here. Got a little place to pull off. His truck, my truck, and we're going to use his truck to kind of day hunt out of here for a couple of days, get the lay of the land, and use mine as a base camp. He's got a small standing dome tent there. We got some small table and a propane stove, and we're going to try to make the best of it here. It was 60 degrees when we left town about 3 hours ago. Temperature dropped down about 30 degrees, and as you can see here in the distance, there's a storm rolling through. Supposed to be rain, possibly turn a little bit of sleet as the temperature is dropping, but right now it's about 45 degrees, so I think we're going to steer clear of the snow for today, but there's several days more snow coming. But just to give you a little lay of the land, we're outside of a burn area, so it should be pretty good deer hunting in here. You can see the storm is just starting to get on top of us, but if I look back here behind me, you can see the sun shining, so little glimmer of hope there. I'm going to try to set up and do some glassing here with a rain jacket, and say we're going to spend the rest of the day scouting and getting ready here at camp, and season comes in tomorrow. So got us up a couple nice bucks tonight, or at least rule out some areas, and start hunting on Saturday and Sunday. And if we're not doing well, we'll pick up and we'll move. It's a little after 2 p.m. here on Friday. The rain moved through, and I climbed up on a knob here, not far from base camp, probably about 600-700 feet up. So I'm assuming, based on the GPS, I'm somewhere between 8,600 and 9,000 feet, and got a nice little basin here to glass. Just kind of checking things out here the day before season, and hopefully we can find a deer in here. It's a little early for them to be up and moving for the evening, but thought maybe I'd see something get up and stretch. But up in that first rock face, I believe up near the top, there are 2 mountain goats. I didn't bring my spotter up with me, just looking at them through the binoculars, but I'm pretty sure that there's 2 mountain goats about 50 feet down from the top, laying in a little crevice facing each other. So I've been kind of watching them off and on to see if they move, but I'm almost certain that that's what it is, so that's pretty cool to see. The wind keeps picking up, and there's just a little more rain here again yet today. See, it's starting to get dark back there. Well, I hiked on up the ridge about as high as I can get elevation-wise without getting up on some of those little knolls, but the winds picked up drastically, and what I thought was rain possibly blowing into snow. You can see it actually blowing across the valley there. The winds are probably gusting about 20-25 miles an hour. Temperature's dropping pretty good now. Where I'm at now is probably about an hour hike back to base camp. Definitely not for the faint of heart. Things are getting western in a hurry. Friday night, I made it down off the mountain in that blizzard and got dried out down here at camp. You can see we're going to camp in the back of the truck cap here. I got a heater in there, and then AJ's got a little pop-up tent here, so we've got some more cooking gear and stuff in here. So it's actually a pretty cozy little setup. We're down here about 1,000 feet off the peak, so I guess we're out of the wind directly. There's still some coming through here, gusting through, but it's not as bad as it is up on top. But like I said, I come down, dried out, and we went out and scouted glass for about 3 hours until after dark, and we did turn up 2 mule deer bucks and 2 does. The does were pretty close. We got within about 50 yards of them and they didn't spook or anything, which was good. Didn't blow anything out. But the two bucks we found, they were kind of sparring a little bit, pushing each other around. Looked like they were about 2.5 years old, probably 120, 130 inch deer, but they were close to a mile away. We had them in the spotting scope, took a little bit of video with the phone scope and such, so that was pretty cool to do. But looking for something just a little bit bigger than that. But it's nice that we've turned up 3 bucks and 2 doe already just in about 4 hours of scouting. So at least we're seeing some deer. The weather's supposed to start getting a little worse each day, a little colder, a little bit of snow, so that should have the deer up and moving. It's Saturday, first day of deer season here in Colorado, and climbed back up on top of the peak that I was on yesterday that I got blown off of, and weather's a little calmer here this morning, sun shining, hoping to find some deer out grazing. Been glassing here for about an hour, and just turned up one small buck, probably about 1,000 yards out, but I guess that's a sign in the right direction. It's about 35 degrees up here, just a light breeze, so it's actually not too bad. It's kind of glassing this basin out here. Sunday morning, about 5:45. It's snowing pretty good here. You can probably hear the wind. Got a little bit of snow on the ground. Not a lot here, but got a little dusting, but the wind's howling pretty good. We're at about 8,400 feet camping here, but we're heading back up to just shy of 9,000 feet, and I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of snow up there, as there was snow up there the other day. But got in last night from glassing. We saw about 30 deer. 8 of them were bucks. I think we're up to 19 bucks total in day of pre-scouting, the first day of hunting. So been here since Friday morning. So like I said, today's Sunday. We've been scouting, trying to get the lay of the land, finding the deer. Seem like they're well off in the distance from where we're glassing these basins, but we're going to see if we can't try to put one on the ground here today. We've seen a couple 130s, 135s, a lot of 100-inch deer, a couple of real nice 2x2s, but we've also seen some pretty decent 150s, and last night we seen a 160, we believe. So seeing a lot of deer. It's just trying to get on. I'm going to head back up on top of the hill and bundle up, and hopefully we can put at least one deer on the ground, not freeze to death today. We just hiked about 2 miles up to our glassing point up here in the rocks. This is right. I spotted a group of 6 bucks yesterday out here to the right, way up in that basin. And we spotted quite a few doe out in there. And we spotted probably about a 145 way out there, about a mile. That's the one we put a stalk on yesterday, but we found some bed and he was already gone, so hopefully we have a better luck today. It's about 20 degrees, the wind's howling pretty good, the snow's blowing. Trying to tuck through these rocks. It's a little windbreak, it seems like you just can't get away from it. working up the ladder little by little. Would have been nice to shoot a 150, 160. We've seen a couple here, but conditions have been pretty brutal. It's been snowing every day. We're down a little bit lowlands here. The sun melts it off, but wind's been about 40, 50 mile an hour. They're expecting those to go through again tonight, so should make for another interesting night of camping. But we got one mule deer on the ground and one more tag to fill. AJ, you're up next, brother. Well, we just made it back to camp. It's about 8 p.m. here, and got my buck packed out. It was just a little shy of a mile, about 8 or 9/10 of a mile. Wasn't too bad of a pack out actually. A little bit of rolling hills and one big hill at the end, but I'll take that over some of the things I've done in the past. So it's getting very cold again. It only reached a high of 32 today. And with that wind blowing, I know it's in the 20s, and right now I am numb. So I'm just doing a quick segment here, kind of cap the day. We've got the meat hanging here up in a tree, and AJ's in the back of the truck there. It's our Holiday Inn Express on wheels. Got the little buddy heater going. This one the thermocouple actually works on. The thing actually works, unlike the one I used last year in Wyoming. It's Monday morning, just before sunrise. We biked in about half a mile up on top of Big Rock Bluff and down in an old burn. I'm tucked in here in these rocks. You can see my spotter sitting there. AJ's up around the rocks about 50 yards, so he's gonna look at the other side, and we'll stay in touch if we see a shooter. Something 130 or bigger, and bigger is what we're shooting for. So it's a little early, hard to see several thousand yards. As far as you can see, it's about 20, 25 degrees this morning and about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. So it's better than it has been. And after when that sun comes up, it warms up quick. So I got a deer last night. Hopefully AJ can get on something today. I know we've had a couple glimpses of some 140, 150s, but we've seen a lot of scrub bucks. I mean, we're seeing a lot more bucks than does, but just not as many shooters as we'd like. I think we've probably seen about 30 bucks so far, and 4 or 5 of them been shooters, and one of them's hanging back at camp right now. Sitting here glassing for about an hour, and AJ was able to pick up a small buck. Well, it looks like a small buck from here. He's probably a mile away, and about 6 doe. They're out by that rock outcropping. I'll try to zoom in. Down underneath the face of those rocks in the center of the screen. It's about a mile. So what we're going to try to do is pack up our stuff and try to get down here to this other knoll. About 300 yards, maybe 400, cut the distance, get a better angle on him, see if he's worth going after. Like I say, he doesn't look like an enormous buck, but we're also a mile away, so we'll get a little closer and see what we can find out. Well, we moved down off that rock outcropping, moved about 300 yards, and AJ picked up a 4x4, and I picked up a 2x2, and that real big 3x3. He's got to be close to 26, 27 inches wide, and AJ's going to try to circle down around, beat feet, get down there, and see if he can't try to get one of them in the scope, get a little better look at him. 2 of them look pretty good from here. I zoom in, they're down between these pines. There's a big rock in the center of the screen, and they're feeding up over top of that rock, and they should be moving over to in front of that pine tree there in the center of the screen. So they're just out of view. He's good for 600 yards, but with this wind out here, it's not too bad this morning. It'd be nice to get within 400. There goes AJ down through the trees, gonna try to circle down around on those bucks. we got the right wind and they're feeding away from us, so we got a couple things in our favor. But they're down about 650 yards when I finally get a range. We just hiked about 900 yards. AJ was able to chase some bucks down in a 585 yard shot. Looks like you got a nice 4x4 here. Oh yeah, that's a dandy. Oh, he's down. Look at that. Not bad, buddy. Hold that head up. Let's get a look at him. Wow. Dude, that is sweet.
Got good forks all the way around. Really a little tight, but hell.
No, that's wraps up good. He's high. Got eye guards.
Yep.
That right there is exactly what we was looking for. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I seen this side. I see. Right on.
Another big mule deer down. Just give you a little idea of where we're at here in these canyons. We actually glassed him from way up through them pines on the other side of them pines. And AJ was able to hike down up onto this crest up here. And first shot was a little high. And then second shot put the deer down. Nice job, that'll make the wife happy. Yeah. Money well spent on an out-of-state tag.
I'm happy with it. That's my biggest so far.
Oh yeah.
Looking for.
Nice.
That is what I was looking for, Bill.
Congratulations, AJ. Well, we just got AJ's mule deer boned out. We both got packs, probably 50 pound a piece. We got about a 2-mile hike back to, we get back up to the 2-track and then get there to the truck. So we're gonna head up to the top of here, head across this ridge, over into them pines. We'll skirt along them pines. Over on that small knoll, we'll duck in, and it kind of drops down over. And I figure that crest there is the halfway point, and it's going to take us, it's about a mile to wrap around to get there, and then from that point another mile. So actually this is the nicest day we've had. The wind's died down, feels like it's about 40 degrees, so we've actually stripped down a little bit here so we're not sweating with these heavy packs, and we'll get back to the truck. We're going to have some tenderloins for dinner tonight. Well, we got another 250 yards to get to the top of the pine trees, and we'll call that the halfway point, and eventually we'll wrap and wind back around the mountain, and we'll catch the road way out there another mile. And as I pan around here, you can see the road off in the distance, way out there on the side of that mountain. Goes all the way along the mountain, all the way around. Well, we made it the first mile, and so far so good. We reached the 2-track. Of course, it's gated up at the other end. You can't drive through. They close it come fall, and we figure we got about 1 more mile here on this 2-track rolling through this low valley here. So figure another 25-30 minutes we'll be back at the truck. And then from the truck we're probably 5 miles from base camp. old friend, the wind is back. About probably 8 to 10 mile an hour. It'll blow your hat off. Probably another third of a mile to go. Well, it's Monday afternoon, 4th day of the hunt, and wouldn't you know it, the hunt's over and the weather improved. So the wind's died down, no more snow, and we got some sunny skies. So all the snow's melted off, and we're just glad it's here. But we're breaking down camp. It's going to be a couple hours to get back to the hardtop, so we're going to try to make a little bit of tracks to get out of the National Forest tonight. That's my meat hanging there in the tree from the buck I shot. AJ's got his in the cooler already, and we're packing up the trucks. I've got mine just about ready to go. We're going to break down the little pop-up tent that AJ brought to cook in, and then we'll be on the road here shortly. So it was a good hunt. It was good to see AJ. Now that he's moved all the way to Idaho, we made plans to try to come back here again in about 2 years. So looking forward to it.
Well, he was pushing 80, but he acted 22. He could laugh and drink just like his grandchildren would do. There was square hay on the meadow, second cutting of the year. Well, their summer work was over once they got the pasture clear. They were drinking on the big bluff, across the river from the field. Well, he walked up to the edge and threw a stone in, and he kneeled. And he looked down at the water, said, "Boys, I'm going in." Well, they were cheering when he jumped, but he did not come up again. We'll raise another round, boys, and have another glass. Be thankful for a day, know that it'll never last. And let's leave the world laughing when our eulogies are read. May we all get to heaven, for the devil knows we're dead. May we all get to heaven, for the devil knows we're dead. Well, it was 20 after midnight, and they were going 85. She was barely out of high school, won't bad to feel alive. And just a two-lane piece of blacktop, a snaky stretch of road. Well, the wind blew through the wing vents, it was clear and fresh and cold. Well, the driver killed the headlights, and he put the throttle down. When they hit the railroad crossing, they were 5 feet off the ground. Just screaming through the midnight, till they came down again. Well, the front tire hit a bar ditch, they went in